All right. See, this is after Gildedguy's last video, which I think is really underwhelming, personally. Um, and they got an Almost Monday song, but they credited Almost Monday wrong. But it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. So I know this animation is it's a part of his Gilded Duels event, which is a ripoff of Dojo Duels. Takes place in the same universe, to my understanding, but it's ran by Gildedguy, where he encourages his specific community to make duels with each other for specific deadline events. And then they go through everything, and it's all supposed to be like somewhat canon, from my understanding. Um, I'm still a little confused about what it's all about, but I'm just going to go off of what Gildedguy presents in his videos. I'm not going to worry about whatever everyone else does, because to what I know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah. But this is Kamise. Who are they made by? Did they say in the description? Against Chorangi or Korangi. Very nice. All right. But yeah, I think this one is very interesting because you get to clearly see what Gildedguy is good at and what he's not good at the same time. And I think he knows it. But I think he's using it as an opportunity to show you those skills and improve on them. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can see it, right? You can see what he's good at and what he's terrible at. Not terrible. Terrible is a harsh word. But the flat 2D perspective stick fight, he's not good at. He's not quite good at. It's okay, but there's a lot of instances where it's very confusing and hard to tell what's going on. So I think he's really lacking in these flat perspective shots. There's also the background characters, which I found interesting. They're distracting to me not because there's like unique characters in the background. They're distracting to me because they don't react to anything unless we specifically focus on them. But giving them faces here gives me an impression that we should be focusing on them, but they just stare blankly. But not a huge issue. It's he's trying to produce these faster. He wants to do some quicker duels, kind of like his first one, from my understanding. But yeah, and there's still fun choreo ideas, but like you can tell he's also kind of struggling with the music sync at certain points by really slowing down some impacts to make sure that he meets them. But it just feels a little too slow, like right here. Like sure, it doesn't look bad, but to me, it feels like he's really stretching out that movement so he can hit that beat. But I mean, this is beautiful. The colors are phenomenal, and of course, the composition in the full perspective shots, they're great because that's what he excels at. He's already fantastic at this sort of stuff. I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. The colors in this one are really interesting. I really love how he experiments with colors in every single video, and you can see how comfortable he's gotten with it to the point that he's choosing some very bright colors that are supposed to clash with each other, but they just don't. And I wish I could. I wish I understood color to a much better understanding, so I could explain why they work. But I don't know why. I just know they do here. They're so bright and in your face, but they complement each other in a way that I can't understand. Yeah, like this kind of movement he excels at, but once it flips to flat perspective, okay. I don't really like that shot though. It's fun character movement, but I kind of operate under a philosophy personally that if you can't explain to me the purpose of a shot, then it shouldn't be there. And the problem in tying yourself in with a timing of music can be very tricky because you have to you're already locked into a timing because of the way that the music is, the way that it sounds. Music can often be an analogy of a story. It has the same mood swings, it has the same pacing, it has a climax, it has an ending, it has an intro, and so it can lend itself very well to stories, and Gildedguy has become one of the best at doing that. They're very difficult to do. Even I'm struggling with it a bit. But Gildedguy in the past, he has excelled at it. That one shot felt to me like there was no point for it being there, because he had already expressed that Gildedguy put his helmet back on and that he was vibing, and that shot just repeated that information. That's it. Maybe it's supposed to complement the word shining in the song, but that feels like a stretch to me. I don't know. It's just, every shot has to have a purpose, and if it doesn't have a purpose, it shouldn't be there, because it just feels pointless. Sure, it can look good, it could look pretty, and if that's all it's supposed to do, then fine. Create, artistic intent is, however he wants it to look is however he wants it to look. But I don't know. It left me wanting more out of that. He's also, I do have to respect that he's trying to be extremely limited in this perspective. He's not relying on any kind of line art to help with the defining features that he usually presents in his art. He, like, the sword is a very thick line. The bat is a very thick line. And that's all the context you get for those weapons. Of course, you do have the context of the shots around it that properly contextualize it to tell you what those weapons are, and you do have the colors to visually tell them apart. Like the bright red is very different from the harsh gray. So it works here. I think it's interesting. I think that was done well. I don't know. It is a very interesting decision to boil down your weapons to such simple shapes. But I think it comes across to me as a challenge to limit himself and see if he can boil down the animation to such simple needs that he can focus on those to improve. That's what I get from it. Was that little rock? That's a good question. Where did that rock come from? Lazy tween. Funny. Also, is that the first time that we ever see a swear in this series? Kick his ass. I love it though. God, there's so much character, and the off-centered eyes are awesome. Oh my god, even the colors on her. Look at Rebonk and her colors. A very bright blue with like a weird like neon, a faded neon green, if that makes sense, and a bright ass yellow. But it feels like it fits. I don't know. It's such a weird color style, but it works. He's just having fun. You can tell when an animator's just doing something to do something, and that's really all this is, so you have to respect it. So, this sequence here is another thing to me that feels like he was trying to stretch it out to fit the music's needs instead of the story's needs. And that's probably because there wasn't a whole lot of story to begin with here. He's just having fun, so sure. Doesn't really matter in the end. But this sequence, it feels like they're in the air for just a little too long, you know? It helps cement the environment around them. A little bit of 3D here, it's cool. And there's 3D all around it. I just love that he just didn't default to like flat paintings for the background. Like if you pay attention to the cone of the top of this tower, you can tell that is proper 3D. I don't know, maybe it's super easy for him to do at this point, so it just doesn't matter. But like he could have just like drawn a simple image for it instead. But yeah. Good shit. I mean, he did for that. Just adds a little flavor, and it's barely noticeable. This is where Gildedguy excels, and it shows. Right here. These big flashy sequences. God. He is also so good at limited animation. Like, oh my god, Gildedguy is probably one of the best examples of someone who can use 3s and 4s consistently for fast action and get away with it every time. If I were to go back into that main sequence there, hang on. Like, look at this, look at this, look at it. It is absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, and yet you play it back and it doesn't feel slow. Yeah, he pulls it off so well. And it's because he has such an incredible understanding of the core principles of animation. You can see a great use of arcs in here especially. Hang on. And the whole rotating shot. I think what really sells it is the fast scrolling background that helps keeps things flowing in a natural way. But like, I mean, look at all the arcs that he's using and look at how they consistently flow into each other. Like, everything makes sense because he gives that right anticipation and then that arc and that follow through with just like 3 frames, 2 to 3 frames. It's all he needs. I mean, that's incredible. Clean arc. Oh my god, wait, I just love that one. Hang on. Fuck. I mean, that's 2 frames. That's not even in between, and he pulls it off so well. A lot more in-betweens there. Hang on, let's just analyze it. I just really like looking at this shit. Yeah, a lot more in-betweens here. But like the idea of like pose-to-pose animation, which is another principle, is that you have your key poses, you have your key frames, so that you have a walk cycle where 1 frame is in the middle, and then your next key frame is full extension of every limb. Your next one is back in the middle, next key frame, extension of every single limb. And then once you have those poses, you can then go ahead and add in-between frames in between them. So, I think he probably starts with a lot of that, and that's honestly what most of this could be considered. But then, yeah, when they get a lot closer to the camera, you can tell he's doing a bit more than keyframes, but they're still pretty close to just the keys. Oh yeah, and there you see the knee. Their knees bounce off of each other and they retract just a little bit. That's a little bit more than keys. Because if he was just doing the keys, they would still be connected here and they wouldn't have retracted. But if he did that, then it might have felt off. He wouldn't have gotten that recoil that he wanted them to have from that impact. There's also a lot of camera shake going on that's also helping it feel like it's all fluid, and there's a lot more in-betweens than there actually are. Because if you really pay attention to the movement, not every time that they punch, but there especially, that knee, there's a good shake on them that makes it feel a lot more animated. There as well. Oh yeah, there's a lot more in-betweens. Oh, and great use of smears to help show the action. I mean, look at that. Goodness gracious. Oh, solid arc. Holy, look at that smear. Fuck. He's so good at it. So who won? Do we know who won? I guess Gildedguy won because they were the last person on the thing. The viewers won. That's true. That's true. They did. And then we get a little bit after. Primarily keys. I mean, this ending segment is a lot more. It's a lot closer to an animatic, with just some flavor to it, and with color and flavor. Yeah, it's a lot closer to an animatic. Oh. Yeah, story. I don't think I have to hold on any longer, but yeah, that was Gildedguy vs. Kamise. Ultimately really good, but yeah, I think he's definitely struggling with flat perspective action. That's his biggest weak point here, but you can tell he's trying to improve with it. He did pretty good in the Gildedguy and the Green-Eyed Cowboy. But even then, you could tell it definitely isn't his strong suit then. I think he's really trying to emphasize a more limited animation style, and I don't think it translated very well in this perspective. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that one. Let's continue. We have Archangel, or is it Archangel? I'm going to say Archangel. It feels right. You say CH is ch, but sometimes it's k, and I hate that. But I'm going to call it Archangel. Yeah, this is by Too Shabby, good friend of mine. Oh my goodness. Oh. The fire in this is done really interestingly. I also just want to bring attention to the background and how he uses such limited strokes to pull off the background, but also notice how it's contrasting the brightness of these two characters. The background just works really well for these guys. So he's got the color down, but also like really pay attention to the flames coming out of his back. So this is Ramjet. He's the robot guy. This is Koa, made by Ink on Toast. Yes, that's the character. I couldn't really tell you exactly what he could do. I think it has something to do with like cloning abilities or something, or like something to do with his halo. Whatever. But I just notice how limited everything is here. You can tell those are just very simple brush strokes, but he's using blend modes to really sell the effect. Because it's supposed to feel bright and hot, and he's able to use two colors and then a blend mode to sell it. He's also got a very simple bevel across the stick figures, and that's really easy to do and animate. It's hard to apply correctly, though, so I think he does it very well here. Yeah, that's an interesting shot, because that's probably a very easy shot, but it's pulled off really well. Hang on, not this shot. But, like, we see one frame of Ramjet getting stretched the fuck out, and then instantly he's already far away. And that snap helps convey the amount of power that punch might have had to have them travel that far of a distance. But, I mean, this really is just, like, an ease in, ease out tween. And that head just probably being a symbol where the rotation on his reticle isn't following that same tween. Oh yeah, and his smears are also incredible. I mean, just those two convey that arc, because you don't get to see the bottom half of that arc. You just get the context of where his hand was roughly last, and then it finishes the smear where his hand currently is. But there's nothing down there, but your mind fills in the gaps, because there's no more room for it. Ah, good. Wait, I think I saw something there. Oh man, look at that smoke, that brightened smoke coming off of his face there. Oh, that's good shit. It's just blend modes. It's good shit. And there again, look at those very rough brush strokes, but they're pulled off so well. That's a stylistic preference right there. He could have spent a lot more time into that fire, making it look a lot more realistic, but it isn't. Oh my god. Fucking hell. God, the foreshortening on that shot is so good. It's really hard. I don't see foreshortening done well on stick figures that often. This one's good. You can actually tell. I don't know if that brushstroke is actually smaller than this one. It probably is, but like the way that it's just generally much shorter, that's smart. But also, of course, this forearm and the hands, God. And he doesn't even outline every single one of them. He really lets that bevel do all of that work. He's letting that, and you can even see that bevel itself is having a blend effect on it. It's having some kind of blend mode on it, all around him. My God. But yeah, that bevels really do all of the heavy lifting on pulling that arm out and making sure that it's clear for you to see. I think it's really smart, really good use. Fantastic music sync too. goodness. Oh, man, dude. Fuck. I'd love to know how to pull off effects like that. The curvy trails on that are so satisfying. God, and he's introduced another color. He's introduced a deeper, kind of more grayish orange for the outside of the fire. But it's adding so much texture there. Holy. But really it's that centerpiece. Whoa! Look at that. You got a blinking, like, burning front on him. I don't really know what to call it. God, this is so well done. Oh, that was all smears. God! So good. Oh my god. He goes from solid to full smear and then back to solid instantly. And it doesn't feel wrong. Like, God, like that's the same thing that we were looking at with Gildedguy's animation. Where those are like keys. He's using a smear as a keyframe. Like as a main pose. Like, holy. And that is pulled off so well. Because it happened so fast, to be fair. But my god. Oh, I mean, you gotta have the rotating shot. Holy. I mean, I love the rotating shot here. I think a way that he could have pulled off the tilt down a lot better is if he had this like squiggled texture on the ground rotate with them. I think that would have sold it. That would have sold it 100%. That's the only thing this thing is lacking right here. Because they're still turning, but that texture on the ground isn't. So it doesn't quite work. It breaks that just a little bit. But if they had rotated that texture, that would have fixed it 100%. Goodness. Oh yeah, I think Koa, yeah. His whole bit is he's supposed to be some kind of like god based on Christianity, or he's I don't really know. I'm not gonna talk out of my ass. It's obviously some religious bullshit. Oh, we ditched the music. Oh, and we get to some more solid style. Very interesting. We got blue heat. Now I wonder if the reason they only decided to do sound effects there is because they didn't want to do sound effects throughout the entire thing. Because, I mean, this entire sequence has been quiet. So I wonder why he decided to do sound effects just there. I wonder if that's just to emphasize how close of a call it was, maybe? I don't know. I'm not quite getting it. Maybe it's just he wanted to build up to that moment where he could cut that audio so that this, the title, the splash screen, whatever you want to call this, it feels a lot more impactful as an ending. But yeah, fantastic animation. Good job, Shab. All right. And let's see, which one do I want to do next? I do Stickpunk. This one's also a pretty... Actually, no. I'm going to do Moz versus Ghost. Which is an animation by EEYE. And then we'll do Sparky and then Stickpunk. God, okay. I don't really know how much I'm going to have to say about this, because I'm not really good with line art-based animation. But I can tell you the compositing on this is really well done. I mean, their implementation of textures is definitely helping them a bit. It's making that background process go a bit faster. It is, of course, a stylistic thing, but those real textures used for that background, that's to skip some work, for sure. But it works. It doesn't feel out of place. Because they composite everyone in the scene. They adjust everyone's colors to match kind of that tone. So they make it work well for them. No one wants the big-ass one? That's what I would get. Okay. Oh, he's gone. Oh, wait, is he? Okay. Who do you think is the best compositing in the dojo? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I don't know about Keenlaw. I think Keenlaw just chooses really good colors. And he has a really good understanding of how to use blend modes. A lot of Flash and anime users can abuse blend modes. But there's a few of them that can pull it off really well and rely on it. Also, sorry, I've been barely reading this just to talk, and yeah, I don't really care about the whole story. Oh. That's not a smart thing to say in front of people who are, like, at the end of their rope. Oh. That was interesting, how they did that. How they did his scarf piece. God, voice acting would really help. They'd have to be really careful. But you could tell it needs it. Because it's either you're paying attention to the text or the animation. And unfortunately, you just have to choose unless you want to keep going back and forth. So... Huh. Ooh. You know, more sketchy style. I wonder what that was supposed to tell us. Got a whole lot of story. What style you wish you saw more of in the dojo? Anything. Anything new. I want to encourage people to do something that hasn't been done before. Be ballsy. I mean, you just don't see this sort of stuff out there too often because this is like high effort. I mean, this is like proper anime. And I'm pretty sure it's just the one guy working on this. Yeah. I will say I am a little bored because I'm not that invested. But I'll try and let it play. Pause, I need to see that. Why is the dojo logo there? What does the dojo have to do with this? Does this take place in the dojo? Okay, there we go. See, here we have another pretty good use of blend modes. Is exactly how you get these things, right? God, sorry, I think it's really cool. There's also a multiply blend mode that I use a lot, personally, where you can pretty much copy and paste the same symbol over on top of itself and then add a multiply layer and then add a tint and change that color to whatever you want. And then you can even add a blend mode on top of that called add that could do something pretty close to this as well. But you can probably skip the multiply thing and just go straight to add and it'll do something pretty similar. But pretty good. And combining filters like glows and drop shadows with blend modes can do you a lot of good. It's a good way to cheat good effects and colors. You have a slight glow on their eye. God, I wish they had music to support this. Because the music they currently have just does not match the energy that I think they're going for. But I mean, it's fun. It's a great classic 2D stick fight. Just with a lot of flavor. Ah. No. Not the guy. Whoa. Holy. Oh, wow. So it's just one guy versus everybody. Oh my goodness, that's sick. Oh no, it's not sick anymore. Shit. Big ass sword. Where the fuck were you hiding that? God, all these unique designs just to get killed. Such a shame. It is a really interesting contrast going from the complicated anime style to simplistic solid colors like this. What the hell? Love whatever that is. Oh no. He's gonna do it. He's gonna kill the person. Oh, okay. We're building up to it. We're building up to it. We'll get there. Interesting. Yeah, I really like how they were slowly introducing all the characters in this alleyway. They're really taking their time building up context, and I think it's pretty boring, especially if you don't already care about the dialogue, which I didn't really care that much. I eventually got to the point where I was just reading it so that I could try and understand what was going to happen because I felt like it was going to be necessary. But even the composition before this, it properly put good focus on the characters that you should focus on because they are going to be relevant further in the story. Usually what happens in this community is, especially when they try and do story, is they put a lot of focus on characters that aren't important until much later, which if you're working on a series that has consistent, like, weekly releases, that can work. But we operate on a scale of months to years, right? We take months to years to finish these things. And even though this is another episode in a series, I don't have to go back and watch the other episodes. I can watch this one, and they already give me enough context to understand this fight scene. So they're telling me that these characters are going to be important, and they're trying to make them seem as if they're really strong and powerful, and then they just get killed off. So it's also a really good storytelling telling tool. Great storytelling tool. Yeah. It just tells you how powerful this new guy is. Sick. God. Ooh, whoa. Damn. I like how short everyone is, and it's giving you constant breaks, so it's not constantly overwhelming you with information. They're cutting back to the scenery to let you know how serious the situation is, and also helping give further context to who's left, who remains. So at this point, I think there's only 2 more important established characters that are left out of everyone else. You can tell the rest of these guys aren't important because they don't have any facial details like the rest of them have had. So they're probably not going to get much, if any, screen time. But you know these guys are about to get involved despite him being freaked out. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ooh, not the guy. Fucking blood. Holy, look at that background. They're just gonna keep going, damn. Good lord. So no one lives. No one lives this. They all die. Ah, solid sound design there. It's an interesting weapon. And there they are. Is he alive? Yeah, of course. I love how abstract it is. There's so many like AC units sticking out of the sides. You're kind of seeing that repeated pattern there in the end shot of what I assume to be lights in the city. So abstract and all over the place, and same with the units on the side of each of these buildings, and they feel so random. I'm sure there's got to be like a thematic reason for that. It feels very artistic. More AC, I guess. These heat waves, yeah, for real. Damn, no, I enjoyed that. I didn't have a whole lot to say because I couldn't. I don't think I could have added much more to the animation. This style is a lot more foreign to me than normal stick figure animation, but this shit is still great. I hope to see more of this. But yes, there was that one. Then there's Sparky from Pimations. This one was released 5 years ago. I remember when Sparky was supposed to have a staff. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he was supposed to have a staff in his original concept. And then I made an animation of my character Shane beating up the old Sparky. And then eventually Mike released this version. Is this new? No, this is 5 years old. 5 years old. But check this out. It's synced. He did the music himself and the sound design himself. I mean, it's so good. I mean, the sync is of course satisfying. He pulled it off really well in a new way, because usually we sync stuff to like rock songs or EDM. We don't often sync it to stuff like this, but he made it custom himself, so that was unique here. I also love the reveal that he's just chilling around a bunch of guys who want to kill him. I think that's fun. Oh, I mean, I want to get a look at these smears. They're very simple. I mean, for those who don't know, oh, that's interesting. He had a smear before the kick. Interesting. Where he has his main limb down here, but his smears, like, it's to show the anticipation a bit better before the impact. And by the time the foot's already there, you see his head's already spaced out. That's really to show the speed. That there wasn't enough frames to show that moment of impact. So he used the smear frame as good anticipation, and you only get to see the after frame. This isn't the frame where you get to see the contact, but really well done there. God, but he also has a great understanding of arcs, and you need to have a great understanding of arcs there for stick figure animation, especially if you're trying to be as flimsy as this feels, right? God. I mean, I could frame by frame this and tell you all the tricks here. But here, see, you get that again. You don't see the frame of impact. You just see what happened afterward. And it makes it feel a whole lot more snappy if you really want to save space. Look at all those ones. Yeah, that's his animation style. Pimations often animates on ones. I believe he's been utilizing more 2s and 3s, and maybe that's just a part of his team. But he tends to animate on ones in his normal work as well. But in stick figure animation, it's a lot more common for animators to animate on a lot of ones. I mean, these are pretty simple gradient smears. I'm pretty sure he did this in Toon Boom, though, so I'm not sure how much I could add of Flash knowledge. But, I mean, those gradients are pretty easy to do anyway. I mean, all of this is so simple that you could easily pull it off in Flash. Goodness. He gives you one smear frame, and that's it, because that's all he needs. He lets, similar to that Gildedguy video, he lets the camera shake take care of the rest, so he can get away with quite a bit. I wonder what that break looks like. Wow, yeah. The moment he gets punched back into it. And look at that. Look at that movement from the white stick figure. So he kicks him back into the energy hand. And what's the next movement that you would expect here, right? I would expect this kick to go back in, because it looks like he's charging it back up. But no, he punches. And then that leg goes all the way back there. So he straightens out the energy from that back of that leg to trade that off into the arm right there. And while looking at it frame by frame, it doesn't look like it would make sense. But then if I go back, right here, that just feels right. It feels right. It feels like the way that he rotated that limb and had it stretch out so far feels like he's distributed that weight to create that impact. So it was really well done there. And he's blurring everything out. Maybe he did do this in Animate. Not sure, actually. Even the little text splotches. See, that's classic stick figure shit. I have a wife and 5 children. Oh man, how do you do that? Let me take a look at that. Because I'd imagine you would have to use tweens, assuming he did this in Animate, which he might have done Animate, he might have used Toon Boom. There's a pretty easy way to pull that off in Animate, I think. I mean, it's just utilizing a lot of shaped tweens and making sure that all the edges line up with each other. But you just have to have an already pretty good understanding of geometry. And because it's kind of misshapen, it's not like a perfect cube or rectangle, he does have a little bit of leeway that you can get away with here. So like you see, it's supposed to be a lot larger at the back, and then yeah, it still kind of is, but it kind of feels like it's leaning more towards the left. But yeah, no, that's just a good understanding of geometry. But because it's uneven, it allows him to make more mistakes. It hides them, at least. Yeah. That's good shit. Yeah, I mean, I've watched that a bunch. But yeah, Filmations is awesome. I hope that he eventually gets to do more stick figure stuff. He did Sauce Quest, and I might look at that on another day, because there's a whole lot of stuff I could say about that. I wonder how he used the opacity to make it look transparent at the end there, with the block. I mean, it's pretty easy to have the transparent color fill in everywhere there. It's all probably just the same exact color. And then he has 2 layers for the blood. He has a layer hidden behind it that's being naturally faded by the opaque blue, and it has the stuff on top that's you know on the ground and on the side of it and front that we see here. And then that glow is just being produced by the white line. So it's pretty easy. Like, there's nothing complex that he did here, but it's just the way that he used his skills felt new, felt fun. So it has to be better? Okay, yeah, sure, guys. All right. Next one, let's take a look at Stickpunk. I have no idea what this is. Not a dang clue. But I dig this style already. Oh my god. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Just such a flex to show your understanding of hands. I mean, those are obviously very cartoony. They're 4-finger hands. But man, I can't do that shit. Fuck you. That looks so good. Looks so good. I am very envious of hands. Anyone who can animate hands. If you can draw hands, fine. Whatever. If you can animate hands well, fuck you. You're not allowed to do that. I love this style. That weird line boil. It's not really a boil, it's just the boil of the strokes, you know. And they have a lot of geometry to work with here with that jetpack and those goggles. Like, they're committing to a lot. Oh, shit. Oh, this is a trial and error kind of animation? Hell yeah. Specifically going to start learning to show you. Do it. Do it. Make me hate you. Wow. So they got an idea. Collecting materials? Okay. I like how they're using that sketch line on their head as a part of the style. So usually if you're trying to draw a face and you're practicing drawing a face, then you'll use these 2 guides. It's supposed to be one going down the middle, one going across from ear to ear. And it's supposed to line up with the center of the head, and then you can base where your eyes, mouth, and nose are going to be. But they're just using it as a part of the style. I dig that. I have not seen that before. Yeah, it looks 3D, but it's not. I don't think anything here is 3D. Whoa. Okay, they had to have used 3D there. Fuck you, you had to have. I'm gonna frame by frame that to really see. No, because fuck you if you did all that by hand. Fuck you, man. I mean, I feel like what they probably did was they built the city in Blender, or they had someone build it in Blender. They pulled off that camera motion, but then to match the style, because they likely didn't want the pardon me. They likely didn't want the conflict between the rough 2D animated style and the background being super fluid, is that they just traced it. They traced their own background every new keyframe. So if the character had a new keyframe, then they would draw the background on that same keyframe. So I'm assuming that's what they did. So, and they pulled it off really well because it fits the animation. I think I saw a missing fill, maybe. Oh no, I guess that was just a stylistic cut. Not sure, actually. Oh, is he gonna be inspired from Squirrel? Yeah, the flying squirrel. Clever. Ah, fuck you. I wanted more. Damn. I mean, that's a good thing to make me want, but damn. Okay, wait, I need to look at that. Okay, yeah, Stickpunk to be continued. They used Krita? Damn. Okay, how'd they do that 3D shot? You can't, wait. So, did they like, they either did it by hand, or they reconstructed that background, or they constructed that background in 3D, and then took a screenshot of it every time that it was supposed to be a new keyframe, and then pasted that into the Krita, and then traced over that so they could have that brush style. Is that what they did? Yeah, fuck you. You don't get to make me say fuck you. Fuck you. Whatever. Nice. Oh, well, happy birthday. Well, you know what? You got yourself a subscriber. That was awesome. Hang on. This was awesome. Hell yeah. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I'm pretty sure that was 5. So I might have to save that last one for next time. But for a YouTube audience, thanks for watching. If you want to be a part of chat, Discord link in the description. I do these stages this is the first one, but I'm hoping to do these stages like once every week or two. But yeah, goodbye. Thank you for watching. Join Discord. All right.